Hey everybody, I am going to change tact, I think, on the CBR. If you saw the previous video, I mentioned about how difficult it is to get the fairings off of this bike, to get to the forks, to be able to get a torque wrench in there to do them back up once we've done the work to the forks. So I thought I was going to take all the fairings off. Now previously, we did manage to pull the fairings out enough with them still attached and got this in there. And I then suddenly thought to myself, well, hang on, that's really long because it's got an adapter. If we get a specialist socket, that should solve the problem. And as you can see, there is a good amount of height being saved there. Unfortunately, it's still not enough. But the bolt is only 10mm tall, and this socket is about 20 deep. Can you see where I'm going here? I think I'm going to trim this socket down a bit and hope that we can then get that in there and it will just become a short socket for this sort of job. I honestly think that's going to be my best bet, rather than stripping this whole thing down for no reason. Like, I do kind of want to do a video doing it, but at the same time, I want to get this back on the road for Reeno, so anything that makes this process faster is better, really. So I've got the socket, I've got the pen, and I'm just going to spin this around, and this will give me a line to cut on, and this will cut off enough. It's not going to be too much. Okay, that's going to be one hot potato. Hot potato, but I have very cold hands, so it counteracts it. Don't use that as advice. Oh yeah, people always freak out about this wire brush and my hands being near it. Some people say use gloves. Stop giving people advice. You never use gloves near rotary tools. And two, it's just a little wire wheel. My skin's not that soft. That is how much we have managed to shorten the tool by. Is that enough? Oh, that is... Oh, hang on. Yes. 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 Here. You just give me the placement to... Yes, even without removing the fairings, that will fit. So, I don't need to strip the fairings off of this bike, and for that I'm sorry. Because I know I said I was going to do it, but you can probably understand why I would rather do what I just did to that than strip all of the fairings off this goddamn bike. Well, as that's going to work, all I need to do is take off the mudguard so I can get the centre stand in, as in the headstock stand. I've already undone a bolt under there which has got a brake line held in place because that gets in the way. I remember now, there's like a carrier underneath. And this is on top. There we go. And for future reference, because I had a problem getting this right around before. That way you fall. God, I don't remember it taking this much force. But we're up. I don't know if it's out of shot or not, but you should be able to notice the bike is on a rear stand first. That's very important. Rear stand before one of those stands. And never one of those on its own. Okay, so I've got to do the pinch bolt. Oh god, it's very dark. I'm sorry. The little lift and a little pull. No, it's still not undone. Come on. There we go. Should have dropped the front wheel out. Go with it. There we go. And without the spacers even falling out, put that through there, keep it all together. Which you didn't see any of. What a great YouTuber I am. Like, comment and subscribe. So now I've got to undo this pinch bolt here, which is holding onto the fork, this one here, which is also holding onto the fork, but is attaching the handlebars to the fork, and there's also a ring you have to pull out here, like a circlip. Don't try and pull that off the top without taking that out, it'll never happen, or you'll damage it. But yeah, we've just got to undo those two, take the clip off, and it all should fall through. But these will need somewhere to go because they hang off the side of the bike, so I need to find like a cloth or something to put underneath it. This will do the trick. It's a yes, it's legal filtering hoodie, available in hoodie and t-shirt form from the links in the description, Reckless merch. Okay, so top one first. Okay, so I've just loosened this top one off, and as you can see, the handlebar's now loose, and this is what I was talking about. If you hook here, there is this little ring. Now this is great because it helps you get the bike back together easier and get everything in place, but you do have to remember to take that off and also not lose it. One of the annoying things about this is you can actually get a normal socket in here to get it off. This is the offending fork, and if you look, stanchion's clean now. Yeah, you see that ring? That is a perfect example of a leaking seal. Do not suggest seal mate to me unless you watch my video on it. Okay, hopefully you can see. Yeah, you can see. Can you see this? All those straight striations? I think they've been caused by when it had water in it, and that is the end of that stanchion. You can have them recoated and stuff, but they're so cheap for this bike that it's just going to be cheaper to get them. I may even give Weemoto a little buzz and, you know, grovel at their feet and see if I can get some stanchions. The nice thing about these, because these are conventional forks, not upside down forks, is that you don't need to remove the foot off the bottom of the stanchion. So to change this is an easy case of just doing the seals and not putting that one back in, putting a new one back in. So yeah, that's a shame. So I'm afraid that's where this stops today, because there's no point me taking this apart anymore until I've got new seals and stanchions coming. At least I'm happy now that it is the stanchion that's the issue, because this one isn't leaking and this hasn't got the striations on it as much, but we will replace both, because if you're going to replace one, replace them both, do it properly all at one go. It's just going to be easier. So yes, that's another bike which needs its stanchions replaced on. Like, it's something you don't really hear of that much, and I had to do it on the DR, and now I've had to do it, or we're having to do it, on the Reeno Machino. But yeah, I have to say, I am extremely glad that the cutting down the socket worked, and I don't have to take all these fairings off, because, oh god, that was going to be a ball ache. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see a continuation of this, because obviously what I need to do now is get those parts in from Weemoto, rebuild the forks and put it back together, which should be, in theory, a nice easy job. Look how I just jinxed it. You have to subscribe now to see the hell. It'll probably catch fire. If you want to help support this channel, please consider doing that through Patreon. And also just say a massive thank you to all the people that have got on board on Patreon recently. It's really nice of you. Thank you for supporting my channel. Anyway, till the next one. Bye-bye. Okay, so yes, I actually did jinx it before we even got moving. The stanchions are not available through Weemoto at the moment because they've got supplier issues to do with getting those. It looks like it's going to go on a little while. They're not sure, basically, and I want to get this done fast. So, I have two options. The most obvious option is just to get these stripped and re-chromed, and that will actually solve the problem, and it will cost about 180 quid, which isn't far off the cost of new stanchions. So just a little request out there, if any of you work in a Honda dealership, or any of you know anyone who works in a Honda dealership, could you check your back room and see if you got a pair of CBR500R from 2014 stanchions available to buy? I imagine there's somewhere in the country there is a set of these sat there that someone ordered that never picked it up and they never got bought since. This has happened in the past for me. I'm hoping with luck that someone will actually watch the end of this video and see this. But likelihoods is they didn't. If you are here, leave a like and a fish name in the comments. Bye.